Care's supposed to be down there right now.
All right. Hey, is there any way you could park like right there?
You came over, relax, so gotcha.
Alright. Sweatpants you like anyway.
Nah, she
Yeah, I
she
just said
tiny.
I just said 14. He said we ain't got that.
I've been modeled.
6 years. Thank you.
Bro, I'm trying to change it here. I could change it here. Hell yeah.
All the way.
Albie, what up, Albie? That's crazy. We played part one of together. We played for the Cowboys.
Monster said Denver, Colorado wants to be.
See you, bro. Congrats.
Right. Shakur. Hey, come on, let us get you over here, bro.
You should be in there for all y'all.
He try to punch with you too, Manny, so give him some faith.
Yo, this EO.
Leave him alone, Dave! Hey, Dave, leave him alone! Find the right shots, Mansa. You'll see it. Hands up, though. Yup.
Got it.
If you don't take a picture with me, I'm crashing out.
Gotta get out now.
I'm happy to be back at the Prudential Center. This is my home. I love it here. Hopefully, my next fight will be here. That's what I want. But I came here to support Lil Manny, and Lil Manny got the job done. Tough fight, close fight, but he pulled it through, and I'm just glad to be here to support him.
You and Tank ever linked up in the ring?
Yeah, we sparred before.
Can we ever expect a fight?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's gonna be one of the biggest fights in the world.
No cap.
I feel like how they talking about Earl and Bud Crawford, I feel like me and Tank gonna be basically 2.0 of that.
Yeah.
Probably even bigger than that.
3 people in the world that I think that could beat Tank. That would be Devin, that would be Shakur, and Tank Davis himself.
You got the last one right. That's the only person that can beat me. Gervonta Davis. That's the only person. Them niggas cannot touch me at all. They all been in the ring with me. They all been in the ring, and I cracked both of them. I
told you it's a 50-50 fight.
Ain't no 50-50 fight, nigga. How you gonna keep me up and you ain't got no power?
I was also told that Devin got the best of you in the last sparring session.
But you know I sparred them twice.
That's right. If Bill
took him out the ring, I almost knocked him out in Floyd Gym. Did they tell you that? Did they tell you that?
I don't know, but I ain't hear that.
Okay. Tell to Devin and his dad to get out my dick. Tell him, be prepared. Because after these first two niggas, oh man, I'm coming straight at niggas.
So what do you say to those who might be saying that, King is afraid of Shakur?
Afraid of what? He'll have no offense. Everything is defense. What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport? He haven't done nothing. So the young one is looking more better than him.
Who that?
Fuck no. I ain't never been knocked down a day in my life. I ain't never really been like hurt in no fight. Like far as, cause the people took when I said this wrong. Like I got hit with a body shot before that I felt. They could like if you want to call that hurt. But I'm talking about like somebody hit you in the chin with like people say you chinny and all that kind of stuff. You ain't got no chin. I never like felt nothing, no chin shot where I was buzzed or hurt or nothing like that in no fight that I had. So in sparring, fight, anything. So nah.
How you think the one coming up with
I
Tank
hope he
and
don't
Roach?
fight Lamar, actually. Like, I hope he don't get in the ring with him again. Because at the end of the day, if he lose, it's just going to look bad on the fight with me. So, it's going to look like somebody else already did it.
You want Tank to knock you out, yo.
I ain't even gonna lie to you.
I didn't say, like, yo, want to fight Tank, and that's nice, but why do you want Tank to knock you out so bad? Like,
Look, that sound good. That sound real good, but she's too little.
Too little.
When it comes to boxing rivalries, few are as heated and personal as the one between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis. This is the rivalry where two passionate fan bases constantly clash over who the better fighter is. Supporters on both sides have built a well-known reputation for going at each other hard on social media to prove their fighter is superior. The back and forth has been going on for years now, and even boxing experts have gotten involved, weighing in on who comes out on top. The only thing missing is an actual fight where both men settle it inside the ring. Sadly for both fan bases and boxing fans everywhere, this fight does not appear to be happening anytime soon unless both fighters step up and seriously push for it to get made.
What would the next step be for Tank?
I heard they were going to fight Jake Paul. When I see Jake Paul at the event and I see Jake Paul posting from the private jet with a picture of Gervonta Davis.
Slapped it.
Yeah, but they had that for a reason. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
You had to buy it. You had to get it made.
Yeah, but I can't believe that fight was going to happen. But anyway, crazy stuff's happening. Yeah, you got to rematch Lamont Roach. You got to. It'll probably get ordered. That's the reality by the New York State Athletic Commission. But listen, they may have got lucky because the only fight for Tank outside of after Lamont Roach was Shakur Stevenson.
Facts.
Right? Now they've got another opponent that will do well at the gate because of the controversy.
Yep.
And it ain't Shakur Stevenson. I keep telling people, Shakur Stevenson beats Tank. You cannot say that Shakur Stevenson would not have beaten Tank last Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
While experts keep debating who wins a Davis versus Stevenson fight, the host of Blue Blood Sports TV delivered a serious reality check for anyone still expecting this fight to happen. He dismissed any talk of Davis putting together a big offer for Shakur Stevenson, calling such reports complete nonsense. He argued that Stevenson has already moved past Davis in terms of accomplishments, pointing to his status as a 4-division champion and a future first-ballot Hall of Famer. He also said that PBC simply does not have the money to make an offer Shakur could not refuse, and that any serious financial package would probably need to come from Turki Alalshik. His conclusion was that Stevenson is a free agent who does not need Davis, and that most fans have already accepted this fight is not going to happen.
So Gervonta needs to go to 140, 147. He's been at 135 too long. He's dominating everybody there. There's no challenges for you there. Come on and go up to 147 pounds. Like I said, that's a system. They are not these people are bought and paid for. We already know that. So the people that they support want Shakur Stevenson to go up to 147 to fight guys like Conor Benn, to fight guys like whoever at 147 pounds, right? But what will that make Shakur? Let's just be real. What does that make Shakur? That is going to make Shakur, basically, he's going to be stuck being an undercard fighter. Like he's been stuck at being an undercard fighter. He didn't get any real momentum off of that fight with Teofimo Lopez. What did he get? He got a bunch of systematic press. People talking about the fight for about a week and how great he is. And after that, it went right back into nobody talking about Shakur. Because Shakur Stevenson he's just not a big star. But he can be a big star if he fights somebody like Gervonta Davis. That's the ticket for him right there. Is the fight between him and the guy that's the most popular guy in that weight class, or anybody below Canelo Alvarez, really. But you know, we live in this era where YouTube channels like The Boxing Voice, like Showbiz the Adult, like these other guys want to prescribe movements for fighters that really don't do anybody any good other than the best.
Over the last couple of years, a clearer picture has formed of who holds the advantage in this matchup. Shakur has moved up quickly by taking on tough opponents consistently. His win over William Zepeda showed people he could handle real pressure. Then beating Teofimo Lopez turned him into a genuine star. Shakur has been actively chasing the big fights and has openly called out Tank Davis, making clear he is not scared. Tank, on the other hand, has essentially disappeared. He has not fought in over a year and has been dealing with repeated legal problems. Shakur's promoter Eddie Hearn has said plainly that he does not see Tank beating Shakur now that Stevenson has become a 4-division world champion.
Tell us about Shakur Stevenson. He can't seem to get a fighter to step in the ring with him after his performance with Teofimo Lopez. What do you make of that? What do you think's going on with Shakur?
There's fights out there for Shakur. There's fights out there for Shakur. Hell yeah, there's fights out there. He gotta fight him. He gotta go get him. That's it. look, every fight ain't gotta be a damn home run. Every fight ain't gotta be, not a home run, but every fight ain't gotta be like, you know, what's the word I'm looking for?
Super Bowl?
Like the Masters or Super Bowl. Every fight ain't gotta be like that, bro. You know what I mean?
Just stay busy, get better.
Well, you can stay busy and get better, but if you fighting the top guys in the division, that's all that we want to see. You know what I mean? So, like, if you're gonna stay at 140, we want to see you against that Russell guy. You know what I'm saying? We want to see you against Russell. We want to see you against Dalton Smith. We want to see you against that top echelon of that division. If you go to 35, we want to see you against the Murtayas of the world. You know what I'm saying?
Aren't the bigger fights at 147 though? Ryan, Devin.
Yeah, but he's not. Yeah, but he's not a 147 pounder. He's not. He ain't say, oh, let me go test that 140. No, he said, I'm gonna go to 140 without no tune-ups, and I'm gonna face the best guy there. Right? And he faced Lopez, and he demolished him like nothing, right? So, like, now y'all want to force him to go up to 47 for what? That's his 4th weight class, dog. His 4th weight class. In a way, it's 4th weight champion too. In a way, ain't going up to 26 yet. In a way, we'll go up there. He handled his business this weekend or next weekend. I'm pretty sure he might go up to 126, right? So the same thing with Shakur. Eventually Shakur will get there, you know, but he got some fights that he can fight. At 130 and 135, shit, I wouldn't mind seeing a Cruz Shakur. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind seeing that. I wouldn't mind seeing Murtayas.
Bradley also shared his thoughts on a Shakur versus Tank Davis fight, implying that it's the biggest fight in boxing. Bradley urged Tank to take the Shakur fight, stating that it's a box office matchup.
Gervonta's at 140, that seems to be the biggest
name.
I
want Gervonta Davis to step in the ring and face somebody, dog, already, bro. For real.
He'll be back.
Like, oh, I know he coming back, dog. But I'm just saying, like, fight Shakur, bro. Fight Shakur. That's all I'm saying, bro. Fight any of these top guys out there, man. And that's it. Because you can say, oh, Shakur ain't fight nobody. Well, shit, if Shakur ain't fight nobody and Tank ain't fight nobody, why don't they fight each other? If that's how y'all want to put it, fight each other. Bro, that will probably be one of the biggest fights in boxing right now, bro. The biggest fight. Yeah. Box office, it will sell out like this. Like that, it'll sell out.
Fan in Boxing offered an interesting take on why Shakur actually needs this fight. He also had direct advice for Tank, saying Davis needs to move up to 140 pounds and go after the big names there because he has stayed at 135 pounds for far too long. Fannin also argues that certain media figures are trying to push Shakur away from the Davis fight by encouraging him to move to 147 pounds instead. He believes this kind of advice serves the interests of specific people behind the scenes rather than the fighters themselves. In his view, Stevenson is still not a major draw and that fighting Davis is the clearest path for him to become a truly big name in the sport.
When you hear these things, when you see Shakur in all these different styles, do you look at him any different when it comes down to a Tank Davis fight now?
I think that Tank is a different style than Cepeda, but Shakur seems to want to take all the tough smoke, and I think really highly of him as a fighter. You know, he seems to, you can kind of get like the gut feeling that certain guys will fight anybody. And Shakur, even though he hasn't fought the huge names, I get the impression in my guts that he's willing to fight anybody. You know what I mean? He got a real confident way about him, and he got the kind of style where you got to kind of adjust to him. So, you know, I don't think he's going to fight Tank the same way he fought Cepeda, but that's what makes Shakur special, is that he can win fights more than one different way. I always thought Shakur and Tank is a great fight, and I still do. But Shakur seems super confident that he could beat Tank. So the only way to figure that out is if they get in the ring. I think they both special, you know, and unfortunately they haven't fought yet, and they're around the same weight classes. So hopefully we get to see it before somebody loses bad or be past their prime, and then we got to wonder what would have happened if they fought on their best day. I just want to just see the fights. But sometimes, like when you ask a question like that, it's hard to say, because sometimes a fighter instinct let him know what he could do with certain guys and with certain guys he can't do. You know what I mean? It just, like Shakur might say, okay, I'm going to smother Tank power. Or he might say, I'm going to box and I'm going to get on my jab and I'm going to move. I don't know how that works. you know, because his mind and his instincts will let him know what he think he could do. Like the Cepeda fight, I was hearing, they was like, get off the ropes, but he saw it in a way where he's like, I could be on the ropes and counterpunch this guy and get off. So we got to just see. And Tank is the same way. They both got super high IQs. So we got to see how they would deal with each other and what adjustments the corner would make and all that kind of stuff, and then come down the stretch and we just see. I really can't say how he would fight him. I don't think he would fight him like he would fight Shakur, but we don't know. You know what I mean?
Hall of Famer Tim Bradley shares a similar view when it comes to Shakur Stevenson. Bradley is firmly against pushing Shakur up to 147 pounds, pointing out that it would already be his fourth weight class. He points to Stevenson's recent dominant performance over Teofimo Lopez at 140 pounds as proof of just how good he is, arguing there is no reason to move up without first facing top challenges like Gary Antoine Russell or Dalton Smith. Bradley also believes Stevenson still has important fights waiting for him at 130 and 135 pounds, mentioning possible matchups against Isaac Cruz or Moratala as fights that should happen before any move to welterweight.
Great. At these stages of their career, Shakur Stevenson has surpassed Gervonta Davis. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer right now. He is a 4-division legit champion and should be Olympic gold medalist. And His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh has eliminated pay-per-view numbers being needed to pay fighters and A side, B side. He has eliminated that. So they can't make Shakur a massive offer he can't refuse. First of all, the PBC doesn't even have the budget to do so. And they need His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh to put on events, as we see. Now, Top Rank is in trying to bring ESPN back into the picture so they could get back on the market. But they don't have a network. Shakur Stevenson's network promotional free agent, essentially. He works with Jay Prince, but he also has dealings with His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. He don't need Gervonta Davis. It's just the fight that we want to see. But these lies that Tank Davis is getting ready to make Shakur Stevenson an offer he can't refuse is just that, a lie. Where would he get the money to offer Shakur Stevenson an offer he can't refuse? It would have to come from Turki Al-Sheikh, His Excellency. And guess what? Tank ain't offering nothing. That means Turki Al-Sheikh would be making the offer to make the fight happen. So I don't know where this, I do know where these folk, lords, these fake these just diabolical, the words I want to use, I can't use. But it ain't. Shakur Stevenson has essentially at this point in his career moved past St. Davis. And the fans and the people have already accepted it ain't happening. They don't like the style match.
There is still a huge question hanging over who actually wins if Shakur and Tank Davis ever share a ring. Both fighters are at the top of their game and still in their primes. While Tank has been quietly fading from the spotlight, a big fight with Shakur could be exactly what he needs to put himself back at the center of the sport.